Abuja. All right, gentlemen, let's move on. Hope is rising for Nigeria's economy and oil production. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, announced that oil production has increased to 1.6 million barrels per day from less than 1 million barrels some months ago. Kyari also added that petrol consumption in the country has declined by 30% following removal of subsidy by President Bola Tinubu. And according to him, the reduction in fuel consumption from about 66.7 million litres per day before the removal of subsidy to about 46 million currently means 30% drop in the demand for foreign exchange by NNPCL to import fuel. Mikhail, with this news, as Nigeria regained position as Africa's largest oil producer, what does this mean?
Yes, if we are able to sustain this over a long period, maybe like 1 month at least, then we could be on the way to regaining our position as Africa's biggest oil producer. Our quota is still not being met, despite this good news from the NNPCL CEO, because our quota is 1.7 million barrels a day. So the question is, can we do this consistently? If we can do it consistently, then we'll be moving very close to meeting our target, our quota, our OPEC quota. If a war-torn country like Libya can be doing about 1.250 million barrels a day, then something is truly wrong with us as a nation. And a lot of the problem we face can be blamed on oil theft, but it's not oil theft alone. We've seen big companies, big oil companies leave Nigeria because of the uncertain nature of the business, because of oil theft and other reasons. Once they leave and they've not been replaced, there is no way to not affect oil production. So this same country was able to do about 2.2 million litres in the past. 2.2 million barrels in the past on a daily basis. But look at where we are. Sometimes we are, just as he said, we were not even able to do up to 1 million barrels. Our performance for the month of July was 1.08 million barrels a day, at least when it is aggregated. It is not good enough. But if we can consistently improve and do maybe 1.6 million barrels a day on a consistent basis for at least a month, we will also earn a lot more. We'll earn a lot more, and our foreign exchange illiquidity, which has been a big problem, will certainly improve. And thankfully too, because we've refrained from defending the naira with our foreign reserves the way we were doing for years, it means that we've been able to save some foreign exchange, and government is earning much more money than before. I've been told that even in the first few weeks, they were able to save in excess of $2 billion that could have been spent in the past, that would have been spent in the past to defend the naira. So we are moving gradually towards achieving solvency as a nation And just as the Minister of Finance said, we'll be able to find more money. If things improve, we'll be able to find more money to attend to critical infrastructure, and we won't need to be borrowing money the way we used to borrow money. I'm happy that even the quantum of money that the NNPC used to take to import petrol into the country has also gone down as a result of the daily demand coming down from 66.7 million liters a day to 46 million liters a day. That's about 30% reduction in consumption rate. So we'll be able to free some dollars there, which of course could be used for other things. This is good news, but we need to work hard. Based on current statistics, we are number 3 in Africa in terms of production, and of all the big oil-producing countries, we are the least in terms of our refining capacity, even in terms of our production over a long period too. There is still room for improvement, but I'm happy to hear that we are making progress.
Mm-hmm. Room for improvement, Doctor. I mean, 30% reduction in petrol consumption. How impressive.
Well, it's okay, but I think more will still happen.
More reduction?
Two reasons will account for that. Number one, the spending power of Nigerians is definitely going down. We've just entered into a new phase, a new season, where we are not only sewing according to the clothes available, we are also going below. You know the saying, so you don't sew according to your size again. You watch what you do. So everybody is now coming down and saying, see, I can't, like you said, afford to put my car on the road now. Let me leave it at home. Not because the person wants to, but the circumstance. I don't want to put on my power generating set now. Not because I shouldn't, but because I cannot afford. So it will still come down. And then the second part of it is smuggling is now no more profitable. So that's why some people are arguing. All those filling stations in border communities that were shut down, open them up now. Whoever wants to take it across the border will pay more to take it because it doesn't make economic sense again. No more profit. So it's good. And we are going to gradually get to a position where we are going to see the true picture of how much petrol we consume in the country. So we're going to see the true picture. So it's a good starting point. But then we must also make the point that we need to sustain whatever we have done now to ensure that we don't go below where we are. We should be pushing up. We still have about 100 million more. What we have is about 1.7 allocated towards by OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. So we can still do it. What have we been doing? Curbing theft, curbing pipeline breakages, and all the rest. So we should keep it up. We are seeing some flurry of activities, even around the military now, that we have seen was those are when it comes to these issues. Some things are happening, even if we don't agree totally with some of those things. Like what happened just some few days back, where the military said it arrested some officials of Tantita Security Service for aiding the stealing of crude, and we had this back and forth where Tantita said, no, it is a lie, provided video evidence and all the rest. But whatever we need to do, even if this kind of face-off is going to help us, we need to keep it up.
All right. Dari, how do we keep this up?
Well, Dr. just said it. I'm going to start by agreeing with the very last thing he said. If it would take non-allies disagreeing, having face-offs, for us to really know what has been happening, then it's good for us as a country. So the military, the private security organizations, the NNPCL officials, Nigerian oil sector chiefs and SARS, as well as government agencies and operatives concerned about sanitizing the oil sector should all be more up and doing. That is the way to keep it up. We should all be more up and doing. We should realize the fact that the desire, the zeal of the current administration, especially Mr. President, to revamp our economy will not go a long way unless that sector, the oil sector, is reawakened. Unless certain anomalies that have been going on there are stopped. You see, Nigeria is a funny nation. Nigerians are funny people. And that's why we can survive. Rather than get angry, we just see it as laughable. We stopped subsidy. We have 30% reduction in what we are consuming. In other countries, people were talking about, we must probe what has been happening. Nigerians are like, look, that is what has been happening. This is what is happening now. Let's move on. Let's forge ahead. Because you cannot put that totally to some misappropriation, smuggling, whatever. No. I will tell you, on the surface, even on an individual basis, electricity consumption or electricity in itself seems to have improved a little bit. That affects or reduces the use of petrol for generating sets. That's one aspect. People even switch off their appliances and everything in their house now to save what they consume. So if PSN decides to give us all the lights in the world now, we are not even willing to consume. Those are the changes that have been happening. Bring all the fuel. We just use what we want to use because your pocket will determine what you will use now. So the truth of the matter is, what is happening with our ability to produce more for the international community is good for our economy. What is happening with our own reduction in what we consume is equally good for the economy. Because now we put less foreign exchange, less dollar needed for us to import more fuel. So we are importing what we use now, and we are saving foreign exchange to which we can put to other good uses, not just any use. And that's where government comes in. We are making a lot of saves here and there. Where are those saves going? It is important. If making those saves help us to re-inject this thing into the economy, boosting what we need to get out of the logjam, the corner we have found ourselves, then it simply means we are doing what we ought to be doing. Making people make sacrifices. Making Nigerians live less enjoyable, because we are living less enjoyable lives, I must tell you. Nigerians are living less enjoyable lives. Nigerians are making sacrifices. It is because we have been told, and we now agree, that we all need to go through this for our lives to get better in future. We need government to ensure that what we are saving is being put to those uses that will better our life in future. That is when all this good news will translate into better life for Nigerians. And that's exactly what we need. That's the main reason why we are making these sacrifices.